Did you know that a lot of people with an alcohol problem decide to get sober and they just do it? They get sober and don't drink alcohol ever again. Crazy, right? That was not my experience for a long time, at least until I started to do a couple of things that ended up being game changers. Stick around and I'm going to talk about some of the game changing habits you need to develop that will take alcohol out of your life. Howdy, I'm Terry from TalkSober.com, where we want to help you learn how to live a sober and happy life. So, I was a heavy drinker for decades. In fact, it got out of control in those last few years, but I was able to find sobriety and learn to live a fulfilling life. But to get there, I had to make some changes. I had to change my perspective towards life and alcohol. To do this, I tried 12-step meetings, hospital recovery groups, online help, self-help books, and even just plain self-discipline. But nothing changed until I made a big change in my mindset. I had to develop a mindset where alcohol is not an issue. I don't fight alcohol or its cravings. It's just a non-issue. This is the change you need to make if you want to stay sober. It's not difficult work, but it does require consistent work to develop that sober mindset. So to develop that sober mindset, you need a perspective change. You can't just snap your fingers and boom, perspective has been changed. You need to change some things in your daily life. When you're drinking, you have some habits. Maybe you go to a certain bar after work, or you always drink when you go camping, or you always drink a particular brand of liquor, or whatever the case may be. You've developed some drinking habits. You need to change. The challenge here is to stop drinking. You need to stop one of the biggest influences in your life, that thought that alcohol will make things better. You need to start new habits that have nothing to do with alcohol that will help you realize that alcohol has no benefit whatsoever. This seems like it can be easy. Just stop drinking. But many don't succeed. They didn't start by changing those habits that they came to rely on. They think they can just stop drinking and keep doing the same thing everywhere else in their life. But other things need to change other than just not drinking alcohol. So we start small. We change those habits. To develop that sober mindset, we need to change what we do on a daily basis. Things like not going to that bar after work, not bringing alcohol with you when you go camping, finding a non-alcoholic drink that you like to drink. These are some of the habits you need to develop. It takes some work to stay sober. In early sobriety, you need to consciously think about what to do and what not to do. After all, how long have you been drinking? It's going to take some time to get your mind to shift away from alcohol. But there are some things to do to help expedite the process. First of all, start a sobriety program. Whether it's our TalkSober.com program, AA, a hospital recovery group, whatever. Just make sure you commit to it. Do what's suggested, whether you think it will work or not. Commit to it as best as you can. These programs know how to keep people sober. They've seen every circumstance, even yours. And if you follow them and don't drink, you're gonna stay sober. But on top of a sobriety program, you need to do some little things that can help prove to be game changers in your journey towards sobriety. Eliminate the alcohol in your home. This includes obviously alcoholic drinks, but it also includes medicines and foods that contain alcohol. You need to read labels. This might be difficult as you might live with someone that drinks, but communicate with them, and maybe they can support you by either not drinking at home or at least keeping the alcohol out of sight. Don't drink non-alcoholic beer or wine. Many non-alcoholic beers and wines contain a little alcohol, usually around 0.5%, while some do contain 0%. But either way, for now at least, it's important to not drink things that remind you of the actual alcohol that you're used to indulging in. Try to have certain completely non-alcoholic beverages that you can drink throughout the day. Always try to drink lots of water. I always keep ice water handy. There are so many things you can enjoy that don't contain alcohol. Have a few special occasion, no alcohol drinks in mind that you can order when going out. Something like a Thai iced tea, or Roy Rogers, or a Shirley Temple. Just be careful to make sure there's no alcohol in them and that they don't trigger that craving for one with alcohol. Don't go to bars unless there is a legitimate reason to go there. Now, hanging out with drinking friends while you sip iced tea, that's not a legitimate reason, and it's a recipe for disaster. If you're going out to eat dinner, make sure you don't sit in the bar. Wait for a table in the restaurant. Stay out of the alcohol and beer aisles at the markets. Try not to let overwhelming problems become too stressful. Not necessarily an easy task. I mean, most of us have family, friends, work, and other things that can absolutely bring up stressful situations. But you can learn to control your reaction to these situations. It can help by trying to understand that you only have a limited amount of control over the situation that's causing the stress. Try to take care of only the things you have control over. Try to take care of things just a little bit at a time. A little work on a daily basis will produce huge results. Start doing things you enjoy. I like to hang out with my family, cycle, hike, walk the dog. Go back to doing things that didn't involve alcohol that you used to enjoy. Take a class or learn something new, or try some activity you always wanted to do. Hey, if any of this is helpful for you, hit the thumbs up button so the YouTube algorithm can send this to others that might need some guidance. What we're trying to do here is to change some of those habits we used to do when drinking and replace them with some better habits that lead us away from the alcohol. You're not going to have to eliminate parties or events where alcohol is present, and I don't know that you would want to. But in early sobriety, you should limit these activities as you learn how to stay sober without big negative influences. As your sobriety continues, you will learn how to deal with these potentially dangerous situations, and you will be able to enjoy every activity without alcohol. You can break free from alcohol no matter how bad it is, or it may seem, or maybe you broke free from alcohol before and it's taken control again. You can experience freedom from the alcoholic insanity. The freedom you will receive is truly amazing. People take different journeys to get sober. The important thing is that if you're an alcoholic trying to stay sober, you need to remember that sobriety must be your top priority. Sobriety is not just about avoiding alcohol. It's about getting to the point where alcohol is not an issue. I simply have no desire for it. And you can get there too. Check out our other videos in this channel and go to talksober.com for our sobriety program, our Am I an Alcoholic self-test, and a link to our Facebook group where you can connect with other people with similar issues. Thanks for watching.